Not all mixing sessions are easy. Sometimes they're brutal. Here's a mix for a Gul Mango's track Fluent. It only has 12 audio channels, 5 buses, 15 plug-in inserts, and it's awesome. There's no super complex processing or weird out there techniques. I just focused on 3 simple things in the mix. I made the drums sound ace, I created space for the bass, and I found a nice space. I'm going to share with you exactly how I did those 3 things. And if you're a real G getting the best newsletter for working pros, I'll send you some Easter eggs in the next email. And if you're not signed up yet, get down in the description so you do not miss out. So first thing is, you need to make the drums sound ace. If your mix doesn't have good drums, it's never going to sound great. That's just at least my opinion. So we've got 2 parts of the drum. We've got this loop here. That loop is really cool. But then halfway through I was mixing this, they got a drummer on board, and I also got live drums to blend in with it. So these are the live drums. Good live drums, you need them aligned. And I've used Auto Align 2 on this one, simply because it just tightened up the kick. The kick was a little bit slappy. You could hear a bit of the skin. And then when I aligned it, it felt a little bit more deep, a little bit more woolly. The hi-hats also feel, especially the clank of them, feel a bit more natural as well when they're all aligned. So take a listen to this before and after. You want to listen to the sort of low mid of the hi-hat. It's a little bit more of a natural movement. When it was out of phase, it was a little bit brighter, but I wanted more natural warmth to it. And just listen to the low mids of that hi-hat, just pushing forward a bit. What did I do next with the drums? Well, what I did was I used subloom on the kick. This was, again, you've seen the video on subloom. I'm using it quite a bit, again, from a flat start. That is my starting point for kick drums with this plugin, and then I've just tweaked accordingly. So we can have a listen here. Okay, so that's cool. But the next thing I wanted to add with the drums is a little bit of parallel processing. Bit of decapitator, just giving it a little bit of grit. And then the CLA76, just compressing it a little bit, making it pump. Texture, it's just texture, simple little things. I'm not doing anything crazy there. Getting crazy, I felt the hi-hats were a little bit toppy, especially on the overheads. So I pulled them down with this SSL channel. What I want you to listen for in those hi-hats is, imagine you're playing the drums to this. When this EQ is off and the hi-hats are really bright, it feels like the drum is leaning into the hat and really pushing and driving it. Whereas this song is a pretty chill song. So I don't want that with the drums. I want the drummer to feel like he's just like kicking back. Whereas if he's sitting on top of the hi-hat, it's too aggressive. So just listen to this SSL channel strip in and out. Simple touch. Then a final little piece de la resistance on the drums added a nice snare effect. Okay, that's just one reverb, just for the snare knocks, the rim clicks. Okay, and it's my Khalid Eastside preset on Vintage Verb, which is funny, but it just sounds so good on this snare drum that I had to use it. That's the whole drum mix, okay? And it's gorgeous. So make the drums sound ace. They sound ace. Next, find space for the bass, all right? How did I do that? Now, you've seen me do this parallel process on the bass. I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you something exceptionally aggressive. Exceptionally aggressive for processing. Now, I'll play this bass line with this off, and then I'll show you exactly why I needed to do this, because the why is more important than the what. Okay, listen to this. Remember before I was talking about the hi-hat and the drummer has to feel like he's just in a pocket? That bass is big. Like, it's a big bass. It's a real part of the character of the tune. Now, if I make that kick drum slap super hard and loud, is the drummer relaxed anymore, or is he aggressive? No, he's aggressive. I don't want him to be aggressive. I want him to be chill. Okay, I want him to be chill. So what I did was I was super whack on Pro MB here. This is just side chaining the kick to all the subs as fast as I can with a super hard knee, super hard ratio, super hard release. Look ahead is 10 milliseconds. So the sub frequencies of the bass completely duck out of the way for the kick drum, so the sub can come through and I don't have to crank the hell out of the kick drum. Remember, I want this drummer to be chill, all right? Now I'll turn this off. Has to be like that, okay? Has to. You have a super loud kick drum to make it poke through the subs, it's just going to get really weird and janky. This is a good way to keep the feel of the drums tight and make space for the bass. That was really important. Remember, space for the bass. Next thing, find a nice space. Now I'll show you these keys. These keys are really cool. I didn't do any processing on the keys, but I did add reverbs, and I'm going to show you exactly how I put those reverbs together for this. So let's just listen to these synths because they're pretty cool. Oh, you can hear the reverb, yeah. That sounds cool, doesn't it? So how do I find the space? So what I like to do is when I'm dialing in reverbs, one of the subscribers actually showed me this trick. Control Command, I mute the outs of the channels and just focus on the sends. I'll play everything together, and then all I'm doing is writing the faders of the reverbs, okay? So what I'll do first is I'll show you the reverbs I chose. This is a reverb from that I based off the song Morning by Beck. 7.5 second tail. It is a huge reverb that washes everything, but it's perfect for this. You've got very sharp transients in the drums, you've got very smooth, chill synths, and a funky bass. This just gives a nice wash to everything. Then this here, I've got Echo Boy, 30-second notes on the left, 16th on the right, filtered and just statically decaying in the back. That's all I needed from it. Now, how do I get the levels of these? What do I do? Well, I'll show you exactly what I do. Again, I've got these mixers muted. I play the whole mix. I do not listen to the main signal. I just listen to the reverb sends. I put everything in mono. I'll unmute that so I can listen to it as we do it together. I drop the sound down real low. And all I'm trying to find is a little pocket to place these tails in. So they're just meant to be pocketed in the texture and the harmonics of where the bass is, of where the tails of the hi-hats are, or the snare are. I'm not trying to make them super loud, because that's the thing, when people do reverb, they crank it and then everything's washed in reverb. I just want to pocket it in the tails of everything else. Take a listen.
Yeah, how we here by accident, something not to align. We hitting east again, straight through Komodo Isle. Shopping the blade, the temple dragging me back between the outer world and the safe.
That's way too much. It's just like in front of everything.
Scene. These bridges turn to paradise, I'm lost in the waters. These midnight tales, leaving shocked by the borders. Batch smelling loud, it's that freshly imported. We're running out of town, call it daily.
That's a good space. And then you do the same with the delay. You go over to the delay, and you're going to find a nice pocket. Put in mono, dim the speakers.
Yeah, how we here by accident, something not to align. We heading east again, straight through Komodo Isle. Chopping the blade, the temple dragging me back. Between the outer world and the sacred between.
And that's the magic. And then you undo these, and you're back with this mix, which just sounds gorgeous. Ready?
We've been bumping the day, yo, cello. Cruising down them Alpines, looking for a place to be. Write a song on this couch, I just imagine where I wanna be. 28 grams deep, on a boat we hide from a pirate that had gangrene. Check the keys.
Wondering why I'm showing you this simple mix. Now, I'm showing you this because this week, it was last week actually, last week I started mixing a track with 298 channels, which is a complete opposite to this. But I want to juxtapose this. So when the other song comes out, I'm going to do another mix update showing you, it'll be a much longer video because there's so much other stuff I had to do. It was a huge session, massive session, 200 plus audio channels, like 50, 60 buses. It was wild. But I want to juxtapose it to say, not everything has to be all glitz and glam, lots of cool techniques and stuff. Something simple like this can be a great mix. It's a simpler way to mix. Not every project's like this. Not every project is 300 tracks. But it's something refreshing to showcase that you don't have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. Most of these channels don't even have all that much processing on it. It's just about simple moves that are intentional. Simple moves that are intentional. Okay? I'll leave you to it. And until next time, take care.